my boys learned something. So that was cool. Very nice. Yeah. You kids know what. Right, let's talk Preachcon a bit. Okay. So, it's obviously getting later in the year. We have had no less internally, probably 70 to 80 hours of time thrown at what we wanted to do for Preachcon this year. So last Preachcon we kind of universally agree, was the best one we've ever done. Like, everybody had such a great time. And we were so proud of that. Or at least I can speak for me. I was so proud of that, considering, one, we hadn't done one for a while, and two, we kind of really mingled our audience from the hardcore WoW audience to WoW and FF and basically anything. We had a very, very fresh audience with different perspectives. A lot of people did not have that community build up. So I was so ridiculously proud of what we did last year. But also, the other feedback we always get feedback of ways to improve. One was that my time was not... People preferred having me on Preachcon night be available instead of like being around the whole day the next day. They preferred that one-on-one time where everybody got to sit with me individually. I only got to do that on 2 days after Preachcon because I stuck around for the whole event. I didn't have to fly out somewhere or anything like that. And that went on till like 4 a.m. and that was only with like 6 people individually. That was only with like 6 people, and it went on to like 4 a.m. in the hotel lobby. So people preferred that, having that as well. It was always like we still liked having you around the next day when we went to the karaoke and we went to the casino and we did all that kind of stuff, but we still want that personal time. So we were like, okay. And then we had a lot of feedback from the old heads, is that the people who've been to like every Preachcon, that we could take or leave a lot of the stuff at Preachcon because we're just there to have a party, and the translation of that is a little stale now. Like, the format is stale. If it's the first time there, it's all fresh and new. But obviously we do have people who come every year and they're like, yeah, we kind of get it, there's but we're there to like see all our friends and stuff like that, and do something different. So as we were planning it, I thought of an idea that I think would be really cool to inject some freshness into it and make it much better. But it will not be accomplishable this year. It's not going to be possible, especially at this late in the stage. So we initially were having Preachcon in July. We had booked places for July. We cancelled them because we wouldn't have the time, and then we moved it to August, September to make sure the flights were a problem. So another issue we want to tackle is Preachcon is extremely expensive for you guys, and it doesn't benefit any of us or anyone else other than like the bar. Because we usually hold it in a hotel. The rooms are extremely expensive. The bar's really expensive. And it's just crazy expensive. So it was just like, some of you were, especially those of you who are traveling from the US or Australia, some people from Russia, all the people who are traveling from, it's not too bad for the people who live in the UK, but for a lot of people who travel internationally, that's a big problem because they're just spending thousands and thousands, and it's not like it benefits us in any way, right? It's like all this money is just going to other people that we're facilitating, and it's cost. People are coming out poor, unironically, and it's not fair. It's not a fair shout. It's not a fair shout. So we decided to move to August, September, and started working on the new idea I had, which is great. It's Bex's little pet project, and she's done an incredible job with it. But then we realized that many of you are actually going to be coming to the UK in December because Fanfest is on. And although a lot of people didn't get tickets, a lot of you did get tickets that are going to be in Fanfest. So now we're asking the same people to come to the UK twice within the space... October. Yeah, October. And now coming to the UK twice at the same time, which is a fucking clown fiesta, again, in terms of taking care of people's pockets. So this is what we're going to do. This is my decision. The team is on board with this, though. Everybody agrees this is a good idea that we want to do. We will not have an official show-style Preachcon this year, right? That one. We are going to get the tickets on sale for next year's before the end of this year so that people have months and months to prepare for it. And it's less of like, okay, the tickets are on sale and I need to find the money and I need to book flights and shit within the space of a month or something. That's what we're not doing, the show style, right? We're not doing that. What we will be doing, though, is we are going to be in London for FanFest. The entire team is going. And we will book a party the day before FanFest. So we have the dates of when that's going to be. And we will open that up to absolutely everybody who's coming down. Whether you have a FanFest ticket or not, we will be doing that. So we will book a place because we're definitely going to be there. Also helps us a lot with the fact that the office is destroyed. That's going to cost me a fortune. And as you know, we kind of just about broke even on last year's Preachcon, but generally speaking, we lose money on Preachcon is typically historically it. So that is October 20th. October 20th. Friday, October 20th. So we will be sorting that out. We are hoping to have Man-Made there as an actual DJ. Yes, we haven't finalized anything yet on this yet. We just know the date is when it's going to be. But that's when it's going to be if you want to book a hotel or something or whatever it's going to be. We will be there. We'll be having fun. I hope so too. I want to see everybody. It's just going to be a party. We're not doing the stage show. We will invite content creators. Obviously, content creators will be going anyway because they're going to FanFest. Okay, so we sorted some content creator tickets out last night. Thanks to you guys, by the way. We managed to get some tickets sorted for other people. And we're trying to get some other tickets for other people who want to go to the actual FanFest event. But October 20th, London, we will be sorting this out, okay? I'm not coming unless you invite Yoshi P. We have discovered over the last month, so the plan was like, hey, why are we getting people to fly to the UK if a lot of people, this is before the FanFest tickets went out, again, assuming FanFest was somewhat like BlizzCon, that was my interpretation of it, right? So that was my mistake, but it is my first time dealing with FanFest. Why are we asking people to come to the UK in, like, August or whatever, and then they're coming back to the UK in October? That makes no sense. So what we should do is to save all of you guys money, if you're going to FanFest, we should just have a party at FanFest, and then we can sort out a Preachcon with months of leeway that's going to be bigger than the last one and more fun and more interesting and also have a nice twist on it for next year and get those tickets out nice and early so people can pick them up on convenience instead of it selling out in like 2 seconds, because that's never fun for people, is that we can have these tickets on sale for a while. Why don't we do that? The problem was, of course, we then found out that FanFest was only 4,000 people-ish and change, which was a fucking bummer because a lot of people did not get tickets, but it still fits that we should do that. We should have a get-together there. It's pretty absurd that the event is so small, because we kind of were working on some assumption is that, like, we'd already announced for months we were going to be at FanFest because I assumed it was like BlizzCon. Why wouldn't we be there, right? We'll do everything in our power to get tickets. And then it turns out it's like, hey, barely anybody got tickets because there's not a lot of places to go. So it is what it is. It is what it is. So that is what our plan is for this year, to simplify it for you guys and to make it as cheap as possible for you guys and for less stress on us, because what we're planning, this is FanFest. So the FanFest is at the XL Arena, but yes, we won't be at the XL Arena. We're still starting a venue. We can get a place there, but this is FanFest that's going on. So yes, that's what's going on. I hope it alleviates your minds. So Preachcon next year is something different, but really fun. I like the idea anyway. I think it's going to be great. I think you guys are really going to love it. That is my hope anyway, obviously, or I wouldn't do it. Or I wouldn't do it. But that's the plan. But selfishly, I still want to see as many people as humanly possible. So likelihood is we will go down to London on the Wednesday or the Thursday to be around and spend as much time with people as possible, because FanFest, obviously they might announce the new expansion or whatever, but ultimately I'm there to see you guys. So that's the plan. That's the plan. So I hope that makes sense as to why. Is everybody clear on why we're doing it, and hopefully isn't disappointed? That's the main thing. I hope you're not disappointed. The last thing I wanted to do was rush the event that we're doing, because it wouldn't be as good. And if it doesn't work, then it just falls flat on its face. Bex has been actually stressed out beyond all belief trying to sort out, and Emma. Emma's been fucking all over the place trying to book my idea. It's one of those things where I came up with an idea and let everybody else deal with the problems. Which is kind of my job. That's kind of what I do. I have the idea. I think this is going to be cool. Everybody else make it materialize. That's kind of your problem. This is what I want to happen. Make this happen. And they've been really stressed out about it. So, yeah, they're going to work hard to get that sorted. But, again, it's not going to be... The thing in London is going to be a party, a nice big party, get to see everybody, spend time together, that kind of thing. We'll probably spend time together during the day. That's totally fine. But it's not going to be the Preachcon stage show. We're not guaranteeing there's going to be 20 content creators there or whatever for you guys to meet and all that. We're not doing that. It's just to get together while some of us are already together anyway, is the idea. But we will have the proper Preachcon in 2024. And we are endeavoring to get those tickets on sale in the latter half of this year, is the plan. So everybody has months of preparation. They can schedule it and do all that kind of stuff. That's the plan. Is Jordan coming? I'm not sure if I can say who's coming or not. I can tell you I bought tickets yesterday for some content creators. I can say that, but I'm not sure how those content creators want to announce whether they'll be there or not. So that's entirely up to them. That's entirely up to them. Like I say, we sat here for like 45 minutes sorting tickets out for people as best we could. And again, a huge, huge thank you to the people who did put in the lottery, won the lottery, but couldn't actually go. God bless. God bless. God bless you guys who are like, I have a code. I have no intention of going to Fanfest. So we can sort it out. Again, I'm not saying any names. A lot of names came across our desk of people who were looking for tickets and if we could help out. But yeah, I found out Squeenix does not run things like Blizzard, which is a real shame. I don't actually think we'll hear from Squeenix. Blizzard is kind of guilty of this as well. Blizzard, I don't know if Dan's got experience with this as well, but they typically don't ask you to go and say you've got a ticket, a media pass or whatever until after the general sale. That's what I expect from Blizzard. So you either risk it and don't buy a BlizzCon ticket and just hope that Blizzard will reach out to you and sort something out for you. Or you buy a ticket and then Blizzard gives you one for free anyway. And you're like, son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. Because I have bought a BlizzCon ticket every year. Every year I've bought a BlizzCon ticket. And then they've offered to like fly me out and like do stuff. And I'm like, I don't need that anymore. I will happily take the media pass when I'm there, but I've already paid for my flights. I've already bought tickets. Etc, etc, etc. So that's how Blizzard does things. So I was kind of hoping Squeenix would do it the same way, but it turns out they don't. Squeenix just doesn't give a fuck. And if you get a ticket, you get a ticket. If you don't, you don't. So I assume there's not much... Again, it's my first FanFest, so I assume there's not much in the way of dev interviews or any of that going on. So it's a little bit of a shame. I was hoping to get some opportunity to sit down with Yoshi P and talk to him in the brief opportunity we would have. Assuming he's there, I don't know. He might not even be there. I have no idea. They say some people are going to be there, so I really don't know. Yeah, the media tour thing is something else. But again, I might not even get invited anyway for reasons. But there you go. Yeah, so it's strange. It's very strange. It's a different thing, but I'm still learning as we go along. It's not something I ever expect to get. That's why I buy my BlizzCon tickets. I always bought my BlizzCon tickets. I do not expect to get invited to BlizzCon. It's nice when it happens, but I was just talking about the process that we go through to get there. Yeah, Bubble Boy. Bubble Boy might very well be a thing. I understand that. I totally get that. That's my risk. It's fine. It is what it is. The ticket expect. There you go. All right, so that is what's happening with Preachcon. They kind of want to change the name or something, but I think we could do something fun with a much more limited scope. What we might do is I need to get an idea. We haven't booked the venue yet. We will find somewhere. I need to probably get an idea of how many people are planning on going. So I'm not sure how we'll do that yet. There's a number of ways of doing it, but we could do with getting an idea of how many people are going so we don't book somewhere too small, people can't get in, or book somewhere too big and it's empty and it looks clown fiesta. Preachfest or Riot. I just want to see everybody again, man. When I look that you guys did that, what you guys did this weekend, I'm so jealous. I really am so jealous. I'm not jealous of this. Like, how the tankless. This is what he DM'd me. You're tankless. Yeah, he found a fucking tank. Mr. Raven Rib found himself a tank. And just decided to sit on it and make dreams come true. Tankless and poor. Yeah, tankless and poor. But I can't express to you enough, without being an emotional jerk, how just overwhelmingly proud I am, ever since the first Preachcon, of how you guys have found long-lasting friendships and camaraderie that I can only assume many people didn't have before through our community. Like, it's really touching. I mean, we could talk, obviously, there's been a lot of Preachcon babies. We kind of meme on it, but the fact is that people met each other at Preachcon. So many marriages have come out of it, but more and children. But at the same point, just knowing that without me being involved in any way, you know, without me being involved, is that you guys have found lifelong friends in the real world, right? Because especially during COVID, like, getting out, making friends is really, really hard. It's really hard, like, especially as an adult. Like, making friends is not like it is as a kid in school and high school, where you kind of thrust together and you just make friends. It's really, really hard to make friends, and to see that it's happening on a scale where so many of you are just like, hey, yeah, let's get together and with people I want to spend time with. And not only that, I think this is one of, like, events like this is one of the rare opportunities gamers or anybody with some social anxiety who fall into that category can be yourself, and that's exactly what people want to see. Right? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's hard, and I can't go out and be Preach. I can't do it. I can't go out into the streets and be Preach. Like, it just doesn't work. But these meetings that we have, whether it be Preachcon or whatever, you just can't be yourself. Whereas at these events, you're absolutely yourself, and people like you because you're yourself. Like, that's what I love about this. And I've seen that change in hundreds of you, especially those of you who come to the events on your own. I don't know who here was, like, their first time going out on their own, like, okay, I'm gonna risk this. That's a big move. But what I genuinely see, and I'm not trying to sell you on coming to Preachcon, but what I see is people take that step. Okay, I'm gonna go on my own. I know these people. I spend hours and hours every day with these people. I'm gonna go, and I'm just gonna see what it's like. I'm gonna risk it and see what's going on. And then you end up like this. I don't know what spoons is. I have no idea what spoons is, but not a cool. Yeah, well, praise be to the spoon.
Couldn't make it to Crawlkin. Bring on Preachcon, baby.
Are we going with Preachfest in reference to it? We can go with Preachfest. Hey, shout outs to everybody who cleaned up afterwards, by the way. Shout outs to the cleanup crew who actually cleaned up the place you were staying. Big shout outs to the cleanup crew. Always a rough part of the job is who's actually going to clean the fucking place up after everybody's trashed it, and God knows what they've left in the bathroom. God knows what they've left. Yeah, well done to the cleanup crew who got together and got it done. The Spoon Squad were cleaning up too. We didn't trash the place. Right. To be fair, that sounds pretty accurate, because that's one of the reasons, at least the Village Hotel begs for us to go back every year, is we don't... Why is Arms wearing the Lady D outfit again? It's old at this point. Right? Arms has got to turn his game up. It's amazing, but we've all seen it. You can't run the same gimmick twice. What is this, a quiz? Oh, you guys did a pub quiz. Who were the crawlers who carried the floor inspector to victory over the rat? Fuck you lot. Fuck you lot. Oh my god. That's also a very easy question, by the way. That's also a very easy question. That is a crazy easy question. What? Boris, Lion, and Raven. I was there. These pictures are weird, but they're on the Discord. There you go. Says as he pulls up the VOD. I know he was there. I remember. I was a part of it. All right, so I think we're all clear on that, right? We're all good. Have you seen Jordan's clip from Coils? No! She don't